highlights why I'm not a huge fan of these kind of games, because that it was divorced from the entire, like, solving the puzzles here, which is totally divorced from anything else you were doing earlier. Oh, 36. So this is the final boss level, basically. Although I am thinking of the witness here, and I'm like, the witness does do this kind of thing where it's like, oh, and now the puzzle's moving. Better remember the cosplay and your shoes. I have the shoes set aside, so that hopefully will remind me. Brainoid music strikes back. Okay, now back to Brainoid music. Yeah, this is the other thing that I'm like, it would make for a fun stream. They did a test for determining if an AI has reached AGI, and they did a whole bunch of these puzzle games that are like simple pixel graphics and stuff. And it definitely feels like a good thing to do for am I smarter than an AI? And because that's what they've determined is that humans can do these easily, and then the models, because this is a novel game that is not in a training set, has no ability to tackle it. So, all the grids that you've been solving are all resources on a mega grid. Well, no, that is basically what that is. If you haven't played Brainoid's new whatever game. Also, yes, I did see this. Absolutely incredible video, and also heartbreaking. No, I enjoyed this the first song so much that YouTube was pretty quick to tell me that this exists. This song is also incredible. I don't think it's as iconic as the first one, but and then as people pointing out, anytime somebody's having fun, oh, gotta fire them. It's just wild. Yet another person who I know that is unemployed. Nobody has a job! I'm like, this person who I used to be in the industry. Is anybody else employed? Okay, I don't need to listen to this again, but it is incredible. Yeah, but it's one of those like show of hands. How many people are employed? Is everybody else unemployed too? Is that what the world has come to? Haven't lost your job yet, fingers crossed. Oh, you raising your hand too? You're also unemployed. That's so. Wait, does that mean? Because I feel like that's because the game development meetup is this weekend as well, and I do wonder how many people are. Oh, I was saying raise your hand if I was saying raise your hand if you were unemployed. But or I can make it confusing and say raise your hand if you are employed. Okay, so it sounds like a few people have jobs, at least. But yeah, you're miserable in your job, does that count? Nah, you're still employed. Just because you're miserable. It's one of those like, don't quit your day job. It's one of those things of like, yeah, but I'm miserable, so once you could either be miserable with money or you could be miserable without money. There's you'd hope that, hey, ads start in a minute. Okay, I can go piss in a minute then. But you'd really hope that integer overflowing. I just said I need to go pee. Because I've been drinking so much water, you tell me to hydrate more. Oh, so I was... Okay, I was starting on this before I got distracted, and then I very easily got distracted because I don't want to flippin'... I hate it too when I'm applying to a job, and then I'm like, why do they need this much information about me? Like, that just seems a little iffy. I'm like, why do you need to know my address? I'm like, maybe the state I live in, maybe the city I live in, but my address specifically, it seems... I don't even remember what I was doing for this. And as of not. Oh no! Did the stream restart too? Go ram it. Yeah, it's again one of those like, oh, I just want to stream so that I can pretend like I'm making money. I was gonna say, are you gonna open the flippin' folder? This isn't it either. I don't know. I said the second song isn't as good as the first one, but then it's still just hearing a couple notes of it, and it's... I worked in a warehouse. It did look kind of fun, though. Robots took my last job, but I guess this one's on me. Okay, I am going pee because the ad break happened. Why do I always pick the wrong one? You, and you, and you. And then I go pee. Okay. The thing was... It's the worked in a warehouse. Here. Oh, I didn't really have much feedback. Beyond... The mechanic looks like a lot of fun. Yeah, it's one of those ones where it's like... How do you know which thing is doing what? But I think that's entirely the idea. You don't really... You have to figure that out somehow. As to which square is doing what. I think this looks like a great idea and a great game, and entirely not for me. uh, this just feels so futile. Like, I don't know. That's the thing, though, is I got the one web development job because the person was impressed with my portfolio. So maybe it's a good idea to keep everything updated. And that's the source code. Let's do the executable for here and here. There we go. Okay. This was a Unity project. I'm realizing I need to mess with more game engines. They always say, hey, have you messed with Unreal? And I'm like, I should have. I realized that I should have. But I still haven't messed with it. This is another solo project. Gonna be difficult to name the game. There's too many space mining games out there, and you're gonna amount of incremental ones too. Yeah, that I can imagine that being absolute hell. Yeah, because even something like drill, I'm pretty sure there's a few drill. Out of orbital, Mindscape, Beamline, Beamway, and Mindbreak. Which one does it? Which one stands out for you? Mindscape, I think. I think mine is already taken up by Minecraft. uh, Out of orbital, not bad. Beamway, I'm not feeling as much. Beamline, I think out of orbital and Beamline are the ones that I like out of that list. So, orbital is your favorite too. Well, and are you saying out of orbital or orbital? Because you like it's one of those ones of like, because I think orbital's not a bad. Well, I think that also says like, there's not a lot of orbiting of things in there though. It's like weird snake drills mining rocks. But I guess it does get to like floating in space by the end, so maybe orbital is fine. 3 days or less. Free. Single player. Tower defense. I worked in a warehouse. Sure. Action game. It is side scrolling. And 2026. Was hyped about You Know the Drill, but then I found out there's an incremental mining game called that coming out in 2026. Oh, okay. So not only is it exist, but it's not like it's been it hasn't even been like sitting around for a while. It's just been recently. Bummer. Yeah, the only problem with orbital, I think, is one of those like if you spell it right, then you're not actually finding the game. Rip. 0 minutes and 0 seconds left. I guess it probably doesn't have the microseconds there. Oh, so Actually, that's a good question. I have an audience of multiple people. Out of my list of games, out of all the stuff I've made, what is the most impressive? Because right now I have my... I've got Plunk, which I think is my best game so far. Oh, and then I clicked the button, which didn't take me to the game. It took me to something else, but... I might still find it if it has enough wish list. Like, if you type in schedule, it still brings schedule 1 in the list. Well, and some of it is, like, if you're typing it right, I think is also the... Because, like, orbital is a misspelling of a word. Or, you know, hitting the, like, the orbital. Okay, I could probably turn on some music. And also, 3 o'clock, yeah, I got an hour. And then I will go for a walk. And do some other stuff, so. Let's try with a misspelled game name. Do I have one? I do. There is one that is, if you're talking my games, I do have the one, Windfall, where I switched out the I with a Y. Steam games? Oh, you're not talking my games? Oh. My games aren't good enough for you? Okay, can I think of a Steam game that has a misspelled word? There's gotta be something. And then I'm like, we just look at Steam? Yeah, I still don't have anything on Steam. Can I think of anything? I know there's like Balatra, that is a very, like, that's not a word that's used very much. Yeah, I guess yeah, so like Heartopia is like, they made up a word, or Mugenics, they made up a word. Is there something in my library that is like a misspelled word, basically? What, the not safe for work character creator is my best game? I think the other adult game I've made is the one that has gotten the most eyes on it by far, but that's because it was somebody else doing it was just taking somebody's art and making a tool out of it, so. But no, the character creator is the second thing that's made the most money for me, so. Replicat is one, but it's missing a letter rather than being misspelled. Replicat? Interesting. It doesn't seem to be very common to do a misspelled word. Hosey? Here's one, instead of hazy. Or... So I guess if we do... like here and say hosey. Oh yeah, I was listening to the soundtrack. So it does pop up. So I guess if you have a big enough game, you could do a misspelled word as the game title. I guess you could kind of say Factorio is kind of a misspelling of factory. Yeah, and if you typed in factor, it would still not pull up the game, would it? Steam doesn't really work with SEO. People find your game through typing its name. Or people don't find the game through typing the name. Like you would lose 5 or 10 people. Well then, yeah, I think you could entirely do Orbital as the title of the game. Back to this. No, not back to this. It's just flashbacks to how bad I was at this game. Oh, I clicked on a different thing. Okay. Where was the home page? Oh, there we go. Home was the one that I was messing with. Here. Yeah, this one I updated. And then said, okay, the character generator. And then I was putting the VR stuff. And then I think these. It's kind of what I had as like my best projects. Because as much in terms of revenue, it's the adult content. But yeah, because that's the thing too. It's like here, like I said, these also have like how well they placed for the jams here. It's like 3rd and 5th. Now, is there any kind of, do you know how many people were in the thing or what? No, but I guess that's something I could say about like Idle Dice Roller. Was out of how many games? It was top 100 in the most like popular. It was 6,000. Yeah, so it was top 100 most popular games out of 6,000. So yeah, top 2%. It was the top 2% most popular games from this jam. I don't think it actually got rated well. I think it rated, yeah, middling. But in terms of the, it was more popular, so. Okay, it does have milliseconds left. Wait, your milliseconds left, or you have milliseconds left? Are you going for the full threat? You've got milliseconds left. Oh, so yeah, that was the question. Was there anything else in here that I think is... I think Imbibe is impressive, but just because it was 2 weeks to make an entire immersive sim. Oh, and I don't know. The problem with Bump Squad is the fact that it's not done. It's just like, I think it's an impressive project. I think it's a cool project. It's just not done, so I feel a little iffy trying to like show it off. So. Yeah, and I put a lot of work into this project. I still think it's cool. I don't know, maybe I put Bump Squad on here? Let's see, can I list like the daily active users? If I stream every day, and what day is it? It's a Wednesday? It's the... No. It's April Fool's Day? Are you falling for the classic blunder of April Fool's Day? So Bomb Squad. Do I want to throw Bomb Squad on like featured projects? Yeah, I don't have commercial projects, so Is there anything on the blog, actually? Or is it no? No, okay, apparently it's just... Oh, there was a repost of an old post. Do I have... I don't have, like, a link to my Patreon or something there either, so... Is this actually a thing? As in, like, they are no longer working on a thing? Also, who dis? Man, the old bird logo for Twitter. And then we click all the links, despite the fact that they just said that they're done. This is how I know. But that's exactly what happened to me with Lil Peep. The only reason I heard about Lil Peep was because Lil Peep died. And then I listened to the music. Which, like I said, is again crazy that I'm assuming there is still yet more Lil Peep. Okay, so it was just an April Fool's thing? No, I did a straight up serious one for my Patreon update. I probably could have done something a bit more goofy, but that's okay. Is it gonna actually load or not? Apparently not. Yeah, that it's always like, oh, look at the... Oh, do I remember this? I followed them. I feel like this is a... Okay, that's neither here nor there. It's not what I'm doing right now. Oh, and I guess I could have looked at Steam. That would have told me what games they made. Oh, like Eggnog Incorporated, which is on my wish list. How does this happen? There's some stuff that ends up on my wish list. Like, I'm like, when did I find this? When did I click on this? And then some stuff that I'm like, why is this not on my wish list? It should be. I clicked all the other links. What the heck? Oh, I feel like I'm thinking thoughts. Oh no, I thought bad. Fuck. Okay, I do recognize this song at least. What is this one? Well, I do know what tools I want to include on this, so... Or at least a tool I want to include on this. Oh, and then it doesn't shift everything down, which is so odd. And then it's so weird to be like, there's parts of Weebly that I actually did like. Or maybe it's one of those things of I just got used to it. Oh, or maybe it's supposed to be you add a section. I was just kind of going off of the... Why do you have to do this every time? Okay, it's behind me or something, right? And then did I say I'm doing anything different? Nope, I am still working on the greatest game of all time. It's me making it now instead. This I'm looking for the... Okay, again, it's you, and then you, and then you, and then you, and then here. How do I easily move everything down? You sucketh. Because I don't know exactly how much space I need to move it down. Why'd you grab both? Yeah, like I said, it's a little weird because I'm like, I want this to be just a library of everything I've done, but I also want it to be like, hey, oh, bugger off! I gotta move everything down one? Why am I even trying to get a software job? Software jobs don't exist anymore. AI took all the jobs. Although, like I said, I have a thing that I want to do, which is, can I try this and see if the yeah, play all the games that a human can do that are not what a okay, and the problem here was that I can't link it to a product. Can I seriously not link it to a product? I can only link it to a category. Because I'm like, I guess I could link it to whatever that one tool is, right? This doesn't look like all of the things either. Okay, I can link it to a thing. I just didn't search for it earlier. You dumb? Okay, great. So, well, that's that at least. So, that means if I go back to, like, home here, because I don't think I actually linked these. Oh, I did. I don't think I actually linked this. Oh, I did. Okay, I linked it to itch.io, but that's where it's going to be played from here. Okay, you were linked incorrectly. Okay, so now we gotta edit. And then link you to... There we go. Edit the link to be... I keep thinking I could search it. There we go. And then, did I have a link here? I didn't. Yeah, okay. Well, this is stream. This is not interesting for the stream at all, but the panopticon will keep me honest. But just if there's a possibility of somebody coming by and... What do you mean I don't have idle desktop roller coaster on here? Did I miss another product? I think I've missed a few. Actually. It's like, wait, how many flipping games? Because it doesn't say how many games I have. Does it? Okay, and I also had, like, notes here for... I was copy-pasting that, so that was there, but... Oh, and then this was a list of things to fix. That was stuff for Plunk. That was something else entirely. That's pixel art to do, and that was the things I was gonna do yesterday. Okay. Yeah, this is one of those. I want to chip it away at a few things. I'm like, we'll chip away at this for a little bit. We'll chip away at this for a little bit. Did it just get really quiet? Or is it... It might have just got quiet. Okay. That one song was quiet. And I did boost my mic a little bit, and I boosted the audio for the stream a little bit. And nobody said anything, so I'm assuming that's better then. That's a good idea that I did that. Why is there such a big gap here? Oh, because it just doesn't show up in the... Okay, so then we pull it down. Save? What's that do? It still doesn't fix the issue. Have I heard of the game Big Walk? I have. And I'm like, a co-op version of The Witness sounds like an incredible idea. So, because that's basically how I played the original Witness. At least by the end of it was, my dad was, my dad was helping me with the end of The Witness. So I'm like, a co-op version of The Witness sounds fantastic. Games, and then idle. Let's see, let's do genre then. Can I can see why that other person did a word cloud, because I think that's a good idea. Okay, so there was not, in fact, an idle desktop roller coaster for some reason. Yes. Somehow I missed some stuff here. I really want to play it. 99% sure friends will actively ignore that the game exists. Well, it's certainly, it's not like an action game. It is not a AAA multiplayer game. It is a indie multiplayer game for sure, so. And it's puzzle solving and stuff, so. But I think it looks like a blast, so. There we go, that's the thing. Idle desktop. Oh, and I think I put the wrong stuff on that other. Yeah, okay. That's all of this is. I'm gonna need to go over it again. Ugh. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna need to do the description on these again. Anyway, game marketing. Idle desktop roller coaster. Yeah, because I think I was gonna say I went out of my way to get the correct thumbnail for some reason. What was I doing that for? The eye-gougingly green and bright orange. Probably not a great idea, but that's okay, whatever. And the categories. I guess I'm gonna finish the entire page except for the Unity. Except for the description, which I think is kind of gonna be the case for all of these. Twitch enabled, PC, solo, 3 days or less, free. Single player. We'll say local multiplayer. It's more accurate to what it is. And then it is... a idol? I did have that as a tag, right? I guess I could put tool as well, maybe? Arcade, I guess? I don't know. It's definitely idle. And then side-scrolling and first person. I guess. And then this was... last year? Had to have been last year, right? Yeah, because this was the first Down to Jam? Yeah, last year. What time is it? What year is it? Ruh-roh. Okay. Bugger off. Okay, executable being this. Did you have to extend it across the middle of the screen every time? I started it like here. I started it here, and then you did all of this. And it keeps going up. It keeps going immediately up. I guess it started down. A lot of these are down. Okay, now are you gonna let me call this good? Call this done? So apparently I still have the wrong list of every game I've made. Like this should be... yeah, because apparently this did not exist. For some reason. Did I... like, apparently I didn't make the moving version of that either. Oh, and the whole reason I did all of that was so that I could go back to home and then yes, back to here and edit this. And the other reason I get disheartened when I look at jobs is just all of the stuff that they ask for in terms of requirements. I'm like, I don't have. Like, I know Unity and I know C#, and that's it. And I didn't learn anything else, and that's on me. And then I'm also afraid of, like, well, if I went and got, like, if I just went and worked in a warehouse, that would also not work out. That would also not pay the bills. Yeah, it's funny how I feel more unsure about getting a job now than I did, like, after the pandemic. It's like, sure, the pandemic felt crazy, but it felt hopeful in terms of the job prospects. Right now, I am not hopeful about the job prospects. I just want to make my stupid game, and then I want it to make, like, $30, and then I can move on with my life. That's what I want to do. I want to put like a couple months into making some version of Plunk. Mostly it's get a Steam page up and get a demo out and then see that like 3 people have followed and wishlisted. And then I can... well, no, when I was thinking about my list of friends and family, I think it was like 10 people. So... Because I'm like, I think there's a couple people on the stream. Well, I guess nobody's here right now, but I think there's a couple people on the stream who would buy a game. I think there's a couple friends that would buy the game, and I think there's a couple family members that would buy the game. And when I say a couple, I think a few. So rather like 3. But I think I put out a game, I think there's like 10 people who I could guarantee would buy it. So, and then if I make it like $10, is kind of where I'm aiming pricing wise. So I think I can get $10 worth or $100 worth of revenue, which is before the Steam cut, which is the 30. So that's what, $70? And then there's probably some other nonsense happening, but no, I think I could make the money back for the Steam page. I think this game is good enough that I can make the money back for the Steam page. As in, I can make $130 of revenue, or whatever it maths out to be. Okay, let's just say $200 worth of sales, which is 20. Could I sell 20 copies of the game? I like to think so. Because that's the thing, as much as like over 100 people played the game at AwesomeCon, how many of those would have been people that purchased the game? Because only, I don't know, maybe a third of the people that played the game actually got into it and understood how to play the game. Which isn't too bad for the kind of poor tutorial I have and stuff. Okay, it's 3:30. I was kind of thinking about working on Plunk anyway. And just like bounce around things because I don't want to focus on anything. Although part of me is like, well, where do I want to leave this in terms of... And then it's like, does this website look good? No, not at all. Is this a little more organized than the one I have? Kind of. The one problem I have is that here, you can just scroll to every single game and you don't have to click on anything. But here, if I want to go to a specific game, like you have to click on games, and then you have to click on the game. Well, and again, it's doing something like this, where you have just all of them in a long list. It's another good way to do it. I guess not all of them, but it's a subset of them, because then it does... Oh, okay, what's this? Okay, do I want to think about my portfolio anymore? Not right now, no. Okay, let's see if I can get the pipe working, is the question. Now, if I just hit 1 over here, that gets me a pipe working. But that is not... Yeah, because I think getting rid of the ability to rotate the pipe... Well, not rid of, but like... Not requiring the pipe to be rotated. Ah! I disabled the pipe rotation entirely. Okay, what I wanted to do was just disable that one pipe's rotation. I did go in here and say, let's disable the pipe rotation, didn't I? Yes, okay, no, I lied. So yeah, it's just the one pipe that is at the top that I want to disable the pipe rotation. Oh, meaning I also don't want to disable it as a pipe. How do I make it so that that pipe specifically is... And then I'm like, do I change the title of the stream? No, not at all. This is the greatest game of all time. Many people are saying this. This is the greatest game of all time. No, what's crazy to me is when somebody who isn't understanding what the game is at all says, this is really fun. That's the kind of stuff that's like, am I onto something here? When somebody who doesn't understand what they're doing at all is still enjoying the game. I can't. It's a good song. I hate the fact that it's a good song because I was so bad at actually playing the game. Is the stream still alive? I don't mind just yapping to myself, but I want to make sure, seeing how it did die earlier. Okay, so some kind of version of the stream. Be better playing with a steering wheel. Yes, the stream is still alive. It feels like I haven't seen like bot comments in a while or anything either, so it's just like, once I'm just yapping to myself for a little too long, then it's like, wait a second. That is matching up correctly, isn't it? Okay. So this pipe, I don't want this to be clickable. Okay, I still want you to be, yeah, because then if the, no, okay, all of that still needs to be there. It's just a matter of, it's almost time for bot catching. Okay. It is, isn't it? Did I bump something? I don't want that. Okay. So the one problem is if you actually click the pipe, it'll try to rotate, which I don't want. But on this pipe specifically. I could make a variable that it can rotate. I don't know. It's probably a good idea. Cool. Can rotate. Get rotated. Yes, actually I want it. Well, no. Default it to true. And then just set it to false on that other one. And I'm not really using the right click to do anything, but just in case I want to. It can rotate, do that. Of which it should default to that, but start pipe, I will. Disable. Okay, so now hopefully I will have gotten the game back to what it was. And then you can be clicked and you don't do anything. Good. So now what I need is to not have you and then actually have it come from that other pipe. So do I have like a start pipe? No. Dadgummit, what is this one? Oh, the little, yeah, this one. Terra Ninfa. That was a fun one. That was a cool one, and it seems like they're expanding that game with more stuff, so that's cool. Something in the slime catching bot that should be very progress bar that shows how close it is to catching again. Yeah. I mean, it's not like you faked the loading bars on that greatest game of the world. Pretty hard there, but... Oh, and now here I am doing other stuff. I'm like, okay, no. I think I will have to take the VOD from this and then cut out the greatest game in the world. And then just make that its own, like, separate video. Okay, so... yeah, spawn a pipe with the available positions. Okay, wait, there was the other problem of, like, I need to remove the position that is right in front of... You know, somewhere in, like, here. Yeah, here. For each vector in positions. Add that to available positions. And this is when you spawn the grid. And then it was somewhere else, too. Okay, no, but that's when you remove something. And then here when you clear the grid. Yeah, but that's the question here, is just can I skip that one position? So yes, I can. So this will be the... Yeah, because it's available positions. It's that. And then here is where it's adding it. So now, what is the actual position that I'm looking for? Because I is on the X, J is on the Z. So if it's the I is not equal to, let's do 0 for now, and J is not equal to 0. Yeah, and then I'm gonna get into like working on this and then have a hard out at 4 o'clock because I'm like, I do want to go for a walk, and then I do want to go figure out dinner, and then I got a cosplay and a movie to go do. Oh, actually, where is the pipe? That would pretty much tell me where the space is that I'm trying to... Okay, this is times cube size. Okay, so it is just the numbers. And you're going positive and positive. So... yeah, okay, cube 0, 0. Okay, so I do have these labeled. 3, 6. So 3, 6 is the space that I want to just exclude from all. It's not equal to 3, and it's not equal to 6. And then, did I have a good way to test this? Not really. Okay, because can I mess with the edges? I can say remove edges, no. And then, is that actually going to place stuff on the edges again? Very much so. Holy heck. Oh, it's only going to place it on the edges. Okay, so then does it... Why did it remove the top edge? Okay, remove edges is... that's not how I want that to work. Okay, if it's less than the edge size. Look at the edge size is 0 and it starts at 0. Meaning it's not less than the edge size. And then remove available position edges is only if it's removing the edges. Okay, so then if I do -1 on the edge, so now the edge size being, oh, it was 1. There we go. Okay, so the edge size is 0. Okay, so that was the issue. The edge size, and I am still removing the edges. Okay. Again, that top edge, it still doesn't touch the top edge. What? Wait a second, did I? Okay, and then if I turn remove edges on, which I did, and then put it back to 1, does that work? Yes, okay. And the runestones are still going outside of that, that's fine. But now they're also never touching that top edge. Which, that's fine. It's okay if it touches the top edge. It's just the one position in front of the thing that I wanted to remove. No, because if it's or, then it's going to be a whole T then, right? Wait a second. Did I do, like, okay, so this top edge is not... So that's 6 and that's 3. Ah, I just noticed the top edge. I didn't notice the middle. Okay, so it's removed both. Why? Okay, wait, if I is not equal to 3... But, okay, so if it is equal to 3, then it's checking to see if j is... Okay, what am I trying to... If it's I is equal to 3, and j is equal to 3, then it removes it. So then if it's I is equal to 3, or... That seems off, though. Or no, because I'm doing it the other way around. Okay, well that's working. Okay, so then we don't mess with remove edge. Okay. Now it's all the way up in this corner. That's good, but is it ever in front of the pipe? No. Good. I never did stylize the tooltip. Okay, would it be obnoxious if the tooltip were tilted? Okay, but at least I cleared a space for the in front of the pipe. Yeah, and the one issue is also if you have a whole bunch of upgrades that are in front of the pipe that just stop it. Although that was an issue originally too, is that if you oh, and then did I remove the... Yeah, okay, because this is supposed to be the new starting pipe here, but now if you hit space to actually roll a ball, it doesn't roll a ball because there's no pipe to roll from because the game manager didn't set up a pipe. Oh, and I'm like, I kind of need to use the restroom, but I will wait 8 minutes and then... Oh, actually, is there... I could just raid out at this point. It does say there are 4 people here. That seems like just enough to raid out with. Woody Dev. I haven't seen Woody Dev stuff in quite a while, but... If I could spell... I was gonna say, but I have watched a few of the YouTube videos. Oh, and there was a new one with, Savannah XYX. Oh, whoopsie daisies. But we can go right there because I gotta leave soon. Twitch, why are you okay? Did this just end? This like just ended, didn't it? It was great. See ya. Nah! Dang it. It took me 2 seconds to look up. Oh, look, there's a new video to say. Oh, that's bummer. Okay, wait, this was another. I was gonna say this is another Garden Gnome VTuber that just followed me recently. This is unrelated to anything I was doing, but then again, the greatest game of all time, we could maybe say, was
Oh, I love this. It's great one to start on.
Okay, not really related to anything that I was doing, but is Garden Gnome. So, I guess it doesn't say Garden Gnome necessarily, but that's a Garden Gnome, and that, you know, is missing the hat, but. Okay, like I said, I will go right over here so that I can go for a walk and then go do the rest of my day, which is going to be putting on a cosplay and watching the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Should be fun. I'm going to be a little... I don't know Super Mario Sunshine, but I recognize some of the stuff from that, but I don't fully know Super Mario Sunshine.
You got interrupted? Oh, I don't know what hit me, to be honest.
Okay. And I will be back tomorrow.
Oh, I hate the sword.
Yeah, I don't have anything late in the day, but I do have something in the middle of the day. So,
Yeah, it's alright. I can just do the final phase.
I will be back in the evening. It'll be back to regular time
Fine.
tomorrow, hopefully. Okay. Goodbye. I'm still saying the full thing. Goodbye, good night, good luck. Thanks for stopping by. Have fun sleeping. Bye.
What the fuck? I think there's a bunch of my stamp.